Good evening, I'm Greg Sharp. Here is tonight's sports ticker. The commissioners from the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12 held a joint press conference today announcing an alliance to work together to provide great support and opportunities for student athletes. While no specifics were announced, the plan is to try to work out some scheduling arrangements in football and men's and women's basketball. We'll hear a statement from Nebraska Athletic Director Trev Alberts here shortly. Husker Volleyball announced this afternoon that Olympic gold medalist Justine Wong-Aranchez will be honored at Saturday's game against Kansas State. Wong-Aranchez is one of three former Huskers on the squad that captured gold in Tokyo earlier this month. The Husker Volleyball Radio Show with John Cook will air tonight in hour number 2. NU soccer goalie Sammy Hawk was named today as the Big Ten's goalkeeper of the week. The sophomore recorded 4 saves in a win over Western Illinois and then 3 more in a road victory against Missouri. The Huskers' road trip continues Thursday with a visit to Waco to battle the Baylor Bears. Check of the Major League scoreboard, one final in the books. The Mariners beat the A's 5-1. Games about ready to get underway include the Angels and Orioles in Baltimore. Baltimore has lost 19 straight games. The Diamondbacks are in Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. The Rays and Phillies will gather in Philadelphia. The White Sox and Blue Jays will play in Toronto. The Giants and Mets get together at Citi Field in New York. Later tonight, it'll be the Rangers in Cleveland, the Twins in Boston to take on the Red Sox. The Nationals and Marlins get together in Miami. Yankees and Braves continue their series in Atlanta. It'll be the Tigers in St. Louis to tangle with the Cardinals. Rockies and Cubs get together at Wrigley. Royals are in Houston to battle the Astros. Reds and Brewers get together in Milwaukee. And out on the coast tonight, it'll be the Dodgers and the Padres. Those are today's headlines. I'm Greg Sharp.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time.
Looking to throw, steps, throws, pass, intercepted. Far side, Cam Taylor-Britt to the 50, Britt to the 40, 35, spun out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Cam Taylor-Britt gets his 4th career INT, and the Huskers in business after their 3rd pick in 2 weeks.
Let's go.
Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down. Here are your hosts, Greg Sharp and Jessica Cootie on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to another edition of Sports Nightly. So glad you've chosen to spend a few minutes of your Tuesday night with us here tonight. We've got a volleyball show coming up, our first one of the year with John Cook in hour number 2. Lots of news, though, today. Lots of things have happened. We'll try to click them off here in our opening segment. Jessica mentioned the alliance in the Open. We've been hearing rumblings about this for a couple of weeks. Kind of disappointed, honestly, about the announcement today. Not that there's an alliance, but kind of wanted a little bit more specifics. It was almost like they just kind of rushed to get this out there that they've done this. I kind of kept putting myself in the SEC shoes. What are they thinking about this thing between these 3 Power 5 conferences?
Yeah, to me it was just kind of, again, we had heard that there was talks that this was going to happen. And to me it was just like, okay, this is official. We're coming together and, just so you know, you're not going to, run over us on this deal. We're going to come together and we're going to have a say in how this thing is going. It's not going to be the SEC world and we're all just living in it. We're going to team up here. And to me, it was just more of a show of
unity.
Unity, allegiance, that we're not, going away lightly in this deal. We're not going to let you just push us around and tell us how this thing is going to be. That
guy, and I'm pointing at Paul Feinbaum, is making fun of it all afternoon long. But you know what? I think this needed to happen. I'm in favor of this. I think I just would have liked a little bit more detail. There was there was even some balloons floated about, well, maybe the Pac-12 and the Big Ten go from playing 9 conference games to 8 so that it allows more flexibility to schedule somebody from the ACC or schedule somebody from the Pac-12. I don't know what I think about that. When you have 14 teams in your league, I'd like to play more league teams. I don't know personally if I want to see us give up a Big Ten game to go play Oregon State or somebody like that.
And again, still waiting on to see what the college football playoff expansion looks like, because if there's, depending on where that goes, it depends on what you want to do with the rest of your schedule. So I don't think they wanted to commit to anything just yet about, what they're going to lock into scheduling wise, because you do have to consider that where this college football playoff expansion thing is going.
All 3 commissioners hinted at that they're okay with it going to 12. Did that surprise you at all? Me a little bit.
No, but you also never know what they're saying behind closed doors. They could be, yeah, we're okay with it now, but let's see. I felt like you said, it was kind of just kind of non-committal, nothing really that they said that this is how it's going to be, and there were no specifics, but it was more so to me just saying, hey, we're coming together and we're gonna be together on this still moving forward. Just wanting to keep the how college athletics is, they wanting to stay true to that.
They really stressed that those three conferences have a bulk of the AAU universities in the country, and that student athletes and academics is number one with our conference. That was a bit of a gouge at the eyes of the SEC, kind of going, we still kind of value academics. We believe that's really the important part of this whole thing.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a big part of why certain teams for the Big 12 couldn't come along with Nebraska back however many years ago that was, and why teams aren't being considered now that back in the Big 12 country, when talking about splitting this thing up, well, why can't so-and-so and so-and-so go to the Big 10? Well, because they don't meet those academic standards.
The Pac-12 commissioner was asked about, is he looking to expand at all? And he acted like they might have some news on that front by the end of the week. I'm guessing the teams that are still residents of the Big 12 perked up when they heard that, because some of them, I think, are desperately hoping to get an invite maybe to the Pac-12. So we'll see. That can continue on there. Nebraska, wisely so, had Trev Alberts put out a visual statement earlier today in reaction to the announcement of this alliance today. Here's what Nebraska's athletic director had to say.
Hello, Husker fans. This is Trev Alberts, and you've likely read about or heard about the alliance that's been communicated as a part of the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12. 3 world-class conferences, 41 institutions that have come together to help form and frame the future of college athletics. And I just want you to know how excited we are at the University of Nebraska to be part of this thoughtful group. Obviously, there's a lot of changes coming to intercollegiate athletics, and the University of Nebraska is privileged to be a part of the Big Ten and these other 41 institutions as we look at the future of college athletics. I just want to share this document with you. When you think about 41 institutions, from Boston all the way to LA, and of course you see right in the middle there our strong brand, the University of Nebraska. So we're privileged to be a part of it. We're excited about it. We share the similar values for our student athletes, and I want you to know, as I told you early on, we will always advocate for strongly and communicate in favor of those items that are in the best long-term interest of the University of Nebraska, our coaches, and our student athletes. So thank you for all you do for us. We look forward to seeing you at one of our games. In the meantime, go Big Red.
So there was a video release from Nebraska's athletic director today. I saw somebody tweet, oh, he ought to do some TV. He's pretty good at that, which he certainly did. But that was a nice statement from him, just supporting what the league did today and what this alliance means. And again, there's a certain comfort feeling knowing that you not have to worry about, is Nebraska going to be okay in all this thing? They are. They certainly are, because they or go to sleep at night under the security blanket of the Big Ten Conference. So there was Trev Alberts' comment about that earlier today. All right, talked about a lot of news that's happened. The Lincoln-Lancaster County health director had a press conference a couple of hours ago. The mask mandate for indoor activities is being reinstated at midnight tonight. So that means any indoor place you go, whether it's the grocery store, a restaurant, the Devaney Center for volleyball, you're going to be required to wear a mask. Outdoors, it's strongly recommended, but not required. So for you Husker football fans thinking about the Fordham game in about 10 days, it's recommended but not required to wear a mask, because we've already had a couple of texts about that tonight. So there's
some masks on the chat as well. So, yeah. News coming out that it's by the county. It's not just a university mandate.
Right. It's the Lancaster County, which obviously Lincoln is a part of that. So for students on campus, it's going to have to start masking up to go back in to classrooms. I know for local high schools, they're going to have to do the same thing. And if you're headed to the Devaney Center Friday or Saturday to watch some volleyball with the Huskers, you will be required to wear the mask. But as of now, and this certainly could change in the next 10 days, as of now for the football game on the 4th against Fordham, it's recommended but not required. So hang on. here we go. This darn thing just won't let us go, will it?
And it didn't give, back last spring or a couple springs ago, it was kind of they gave a set date as to when things would, but there was no date on this, so we'll see how it plays out.
It runs through September.
Oh, it does?
So
okay.
they do, yeah. It's
okay.
a DHM. It's in effect until the end of September. So tonight at midnight through September the 30th, which Huskers have a game October the 1st against Northwestern, or the 2nd. Maybe it's the 2nd, October the 2nd. So we have the 2 home games coming up with Fordham and Buffalo, and then a couple of road games. So it could be worse. It could be better by October 1st. But for volleyball, for any matches at the Devaney Center between now and the end of September, you will be required to wear a mask. Don't shoot the messenger. It's not my call, Jessica. Just delivering the news to the folks.
There you go. But the hospitalizations are up, and
They are.
It's kind of until those numbers start going back down. And, it's also important, as we've seen, especially around here, the message for us in the athletics department, because of these student athletes, because you're starting to talk about forfeits if it, hits a team, how important that is as well. So, again, it's also not just about, hey, this is the ruling coming out from the county. It's also people around here looking out for the best interest of the student athletes to try to keep them health and safety safe and being able to get out on the field and the court.
Okay, the Husker coordinators met with the media today. We've got some other things we're going to get into tonight, so we're not going to play back some clips from Eric Chinander or Matt Lubick. Matt Lubick said it's been a very good camp. He's been encouraged with how much progress the offense has made over the last 3.5 weeks as they get ready. He said we have a 3-person group at running back that we're going to go with. We do want somebody to be a bit of the bell cow to carry it 20, 25 times. He would not say who it was, but he did throw out the 3 names that I think we all kind of feel like it's going to be: Gabe Irvin, Savion Morrison, and Marquise Stepp. He said those of the 3 that have risen to the top, but he would not give us an order on that. But he was pretty encouraged by what he has seen from the offense as a whole since they started camp back August 1st.
Yeah, so as much as we were kind of speculating, maybe they would rely on 2 or 3 guys and kind of share the carries. From what he said today, it sounds like that they do want a guy to handle the bulk of the snaps, but that might change from game to game. You might get one guy out there, things aren't clicking. You run another guy out there, boy, he is hitting on all cylinders, and so you ride that wave. But and it's just a position that people are going to get hurt, and so you got guys, and he said that whether that's the first guy, the second guy, or the third guy, that they feel like they could rely on in that role.
Matt Lubick also said that their thought coming into camp was try to go slow so that Samori Toure could learn everything. And he said he blew that out of the water the first couple of days. He goes, we didn't have to do anything. He comes to work every day. He asks questions. He's anxious to learn. He has learned. They go, he is much more advanced than we thought. We're going to hear from him in a couple of minutes. But I think he's probably been the number 1 guy at that position all August.
Yeah, and hearing Samori talk about kind of maybe going to move inside and outside and play in the slot a little bit, which he's most comfortable with. He's playing more of the outside, I think, the last season, right, at Montana. But, going to be a guy that they can rely on doing multiple things as well, moving him in and out. And one thing about the slot that, I've done a little bit of research on about, talking with features in the past is just that it is, and he talked about it, it's reading the defense. So you have to have the smarts. It's not just, hey, you're going to run this exact route every single play. It's figuring out where you can get open to get that ball. And that's what Samori does really well is reading defenses. He's played a lot of football and feels like he's got a good feel for that. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But there's a number of guys that seems like have been making big plays. Oliver Martin has gotten a ton of praise leading up to this week as well.
Yep, he has. I'm anxious to watch all these, as all Husker fans are. What does this picture look like when we flip it on Saturday at noon to take on the Fighting Illini? Eric Chinander got asked the loaded question about, is this a must game on Saturday? And he says, it's the biggest game because it's the next game up on the schedule, but it's not a must game. He goes, it's 1 of 12. So he didn't take the bait on that question. And good for him. I think they all know, the players all know, they've all said they know how big a game this is, with it being a conference game and with it being a divisional game.
I listened to Brett Bielema's press conference as well, and he kind of said the same message because, reporters were asking him about, the importance of this game, how big it is. And And while you do take the approach one game at a time, your season is not over if you lose this game. I mean, that is what Brett Bielema said, is like, yes, there's a lot of importance. It's a conference game at home for us. And he talked about the team goals is to protect, the home field and to win those games at home. But he said, that being said, if things don't go our way, the season is not over if we don't come out of that with a win. And I think both teams understand absolutely how important it is, how monumental it would be for momentum moving forward, but your season is not over if it does not have the outcome that you were hoping for.
You just can't do that. You can't hang everything on the first game of the season. We know the importance. Again, they know the importance. But yeah, you got so much football to play after that first game. But they do know all the particulars of what is at stake for this one. Erik Chinander was asked about the opposite corner spot, which has not been decided yet. Remember when the black shirts came out on Monday, the only corner they gave a black shirt to was Cam Taylor-Britt. He said it's been a tight competition between Quinton Newsome and Braxton Clark, and he described it about one guy would get out to a lead, then the other guy would kind of catch him and maybe overtake him for a day or two, then the other guy would get back. He said it's been that kind of a give and take between those two. So it's kind of down to Braxton Clark and Quinton Newsome who gets that start opposite Cam Taylor-Britt on Saturday. The good news is it sounds like the competition's been pretty heated, and that usually brings out the best.
Absolutely. And he's talked about running three guys back there, that they like to do that in the secondary and the safety and cornerback spot, being able to run three guys in and out of there, if they need to. And you mentioned it. You never know if someone's having a bad game and you need to, make some changes on the fly. You got a guy that you can call on that, maybe will help bring that level of play back up there in the secondary.
Yeah, it's funny you said three guys. I don't know that Cam Taylor's coming out.
Right.
I mean, they could go Cam now, and he would just shoo him away like they're a fly. Get away from me. I'm not coming out of the game.
Yeah, if they tried to put another guy in Cam's spot, he'd say, all right, I'm moving up to linebacker.
Yeah, exactly.
Find somebody else.
Exactly. Not me, buddy. I'm staying in here. So those were kind of the thumbnail sketches of what happened today. They were a little bit more chatty than the head coach was on Monday. I will say that. But
it was interesting to me that listening to the Illinois press conference and then the press conference today, there wasn't a lot of questions asked about either team, not a lot of digging into.
It's all the focus is on your own team the first week.
Yeah. I mean, because Nebraska is not really, they've said it. We can prepare and we're taking bits and pieces from certain places of where coaches have been, but we don't know. We're going to have to be prepared for a lot of different things. And so they don't really know other than maybe some personnel tidbits. But Bielema wasn't really asked much about Nebraska either. In fact, it took 14 minutes into his press conference before he was even asked about Nebraska. So I found that interesting. But we did learn a lot from the coordinators today, I thought.
I did too. I thought they were really, really good. And we'll have Erik Chinander in studio for our next Nebraska football show on Thursday night. So get ready to talk to him. I really enjoy talking to Chins when he comes in. Hey, our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. We are inside our luscious Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment. That's Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer. 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres Solutions for every field. We're back with Samori Toure, a conversation with the Huskers wide receiver transfer from Montana. That, we'll take some calls, texts, comments in the chat room, all that coming up next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up in back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive.
It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at BeardmoreSubaru.com. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, downtown, and the OG location in Millard. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit DeTost Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or DeTostSubaru.com. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Stadium seats may have been replaced with recliners. Tailgates outside the stadium may have been swapped for the ones in the backyard. And thousands of screaming fans have been replaced by one screaming baby. The only thing that hasn't changed is us, watching the game together.
It's game time, baby.
Show off your Husker team spirit during your next virtual watch party. Visit Cox.com/Huskers to take a selfie with Herbie. And don't forget to share. Watch together, cheer together, take a selfie together, even if you're not actually together. Cox, bringing us closer.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections. When it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/prioritycare.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Woohoo! Business Technology 1, network downtime 0. Being a game-winning IT network takes hard work and an experienced technology coach. That's why our game plan includes Marco. Marco helps our entire business infrastructure perform better and score big day in and day out. With Marco's veteran experience guiding our team, every season is a winning season. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. It's a Tuesday night of Sports Honey here on the Huskers Radio Network. Greg Sharp, Jessica Cootie with you. John Cook's first volleyball show coming up at the top of the hour. So get ready for Coach Cook. He'll be in studio with us to take calls and comments and questions. You had a chance to catch up with Samori Toure, one of the probably most talked about guys in this camp. He's really, from the coaches, from his teammates, they all mention him in very high regard.
Coach Lubick was saying how Montana, when they called and spoke very highly of him, and a lot of times that doesn't happen when a guy is trying to leave and transfer out, but that had nothing but glowing things to say and actually helped get Samori here. So, yeah, he's been a welcome addition. He hasn't tried to do too much. He's kind of just come in, taking care of his business, and then he's been a big-time leader for this wide receiver group this fall camp. So, yeah, I got a chance to chat with him yesterday and just pumped that it is finally game week.
It feels unreal, to be honest. Like, it still doesn't feel real. You know, it's been since 2019 since I've played in an actual game. And it's just been so long, and we put in so much work, so I'm excited.
And now that, fall camp, the chapter's closed on that, how do you feel about how this team handled business leading up to this week?
I feel really good. I feel like, a lot of us have made a huge jump since spring ball. And I think, we've all been clicking, and, we're kind of tired of going against each other for so long, so we're excited to see a new opponent.
Yeah, you mentioned clicking. How has this offense been clicking with, the new wide receivers kind of stepping into new roles, the running backs? I mean, how do you feel like you guys are all gelling?
Yeah, I feel like we're all gelling really well. I feel like, especially since the last couple of weeks, we've all sharpened it up and we've all been on the same page. From the O-line to the running backs to the receivers and quarterbacks, we've all been on the same page. So I'm excited to see that come to fruition on Saturday.
How do you go about preparing for Illinois when, it's a new coaching staff and, there's some similar personnel that they had last year, but how do you go about preparing for Saturday?
It's tough because, like you said, they have a new defensive coordinator, that came from Missouri. So we're watching a little bit of their film, watched a little bit from the Illinois spring game. We have a good idea of what they think they're going to do, but at the same time, we got to keep an open mind. And, the coaches have made sure that we got to be ready because they could come out in something that we haven't even prepared for. So we're making sure that we're ready for everything.
And as the wide receiver group, what kind of responsibility do you guys have on Saturday to kind of help this offense get going?
I feel like we put a lot of the weight on our own shoulders. We feel that's how it should be. We got to make plays at the end of the day, and I feel like we're a big part of the offense. So that's just something that we've been speaking every day, that we got to make sure we're locked in because, we matter to this offense.
You personally, how excited are you for Saturday, getting to kind of put your talents on display, national television audience, Big Ten opponent?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Like I said, it's hard to even put into words. It doesn't even feel like a reality yet, but I'm definitely excited. This is why I came here. Big Ten games that matter. On the road too. So I'm super excited for Saturday.
What do you need to do personally? I know you kind of have taken on more of a leadership role for this offense as well, and especially for the wide receivers. So what do you need to do? What's your goal for Saturday?
I just want to play every play my hardest, and just be sharp, be in tune, and definitely focus on the details. But at the same time, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I'm confident in my preparation and the preparation of the receivers. So at the end of the day, we just got to stay loose and go out there and play.
And how big is it to set the tone here in game one, as you move forward? I know you guys are taking it one game at a time, but to set the tone in game one.
Definitely very important. Like you said, it's one game at a time. And we don't want to look at any opponent more or less than our next opponent. But, this week means a lot to all of us.
Yeah, so it will be fun to see how he fits in. He also talked about just how comfortable he's been with Adrian. Really, from the start, they've really put in a lot of work together, and so it'll be interesting to see if that plays into it carries over into a game-like action, because it's one thing to do it to go through and do reps on the field all the time and go through practice, but in a live game, we'll see how that translates. But it seems like both of those guys have really connected really well.
I think they have. I think they got a lot of work in 7-on-7 drills during the summer. You talked about game action. How about he hasn't played a competitive football game since November of 2019, because remember, the FCS didn't play their season until the spring. He'd already transferred to Nebraska. So it's going almost 2 years since he's played a game where they keep scoring it matters, not a spring game or something like that. His heart rate's got to just be racing.
Yeah, I can only imagine how he's going to feel on Saturday. Like, it's his first game again,
Right.
probably. I mean, it's not only is it a new team, a new conference and all that, but just it's been so long, he's going to probably feel like a little kid running out there for the first time.
The heart rate's got to just be jumping.
Yeah.
It really has to be for him. And for a lot of these guys, that we didn't play in front of fans last year, so this will be the first time they've played in front of an opposing fan base for the entire team for almost 2 years as well. That will be something different. Not that Illinois is it's not an intimidating place to play. I don't even know. They won't sell it out. It may be 40,000 there, but still, you're going to have people booing you. You're going to be people that are yelling nasty things at you and all that stuff.
I guess they were saying that Illinois had a couple open practices for students trying to get them to buy in and come out. So I don't know if I've been there, but it sounds like they're trying to get the students to show up and be loud and rowdy, that it hadn't been the case in years past.
And they might be a little bit. New coach, kind of excitement of a season. It's going to be kind of warm, so they might leave at halftime. That's the Huskers' charge, right? Put it out. Get a 10, 14-point lead by halftime. Let those students just go back to the dorms or their fraternity houses and hang out the rest of the day. That's the way to do it.
This will be my first time, experiencing some of these Big Ten stadiums, so I can't wait to see it. But, take them out of it early. Samori was talking about that, the us against the world mentality. And gosh, we talk about just not only a win in week one, but to do it on the road. Like, you get a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence from winning, from stealing one on the road. So I think it really can bring a team together when you go through, because whether it's a blowout or not, it's still kind of adversity, because you have everybody yelling against you. So you have to come together in a way that maybe you haven't had to do every day in practice so far. So this will be a kind of a first-time experience. It can really bring a team together. So for them to figure out a way to win would be massive.
No doubt. Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. And Valentino's Pizza Poster and Pepsi, it's back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.99 and a free Husker schedule poster. And they are good looking. Add a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi for only $1.99. Valentino's, they are the official pizza of the Huskers, the way pizza should be. Phone lines are open for you, 402-413-2400. We'll take some calls, some texts, check out the chat room, and when we come back, we'll hear from a little bit of JoJo Doman's conversation with Jessica that you can hear in its entirety during Husker Game Day on Saturday. That clip's coming up next.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense.
They're growing. Today, there are 1,000. And tomorrow, there will be 2,000.
Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, it'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carry-out, curbside pickup, or delivery at Valentinos.com. Valentinos, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Does it really matter where beef comes from? Meet the facts. Fact: Hy-Vee Choice Reserve beef comes from the Midwest, so you get only the highest quality beef raised on family farms here in the heartland. Where do the other guys get their beef? We're not sure either. Get the facts at meetthefacts.hyvee.com.
There is no better way to support your Huskers than becoming a season ticket holder. And a limited number of Nebraska football season tickets are on sale now. Secure your seat in Memorial Stadium for head coach Scott Frost's 4th season at the helm as the Huskers play host to Buffalo, Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, and more. Now is your chance to become part of the storied tradition that is Husker football. To purchase season tickets, call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
When it comes to tailgating, it's all about gathering with friends, cheering on the Huskers, and of course, enjoying the great taste of real beef. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council, reminding you that there is no substitute for the smoky aroma and mouth-watering flavors of real beef on the grill. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for helpful grilling tips and delicious beef recipes that are sure to make your next tailgate party a success. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
When you're ready to pursue a career-building college degree, go with the school you know and trust, the University of Nebraska. And if you need the flexibility, convenience, and affordability of an online degree program, you can go online with the University of Nebraska. With courses developed specifically for the online learner by our 4 regionally accredited NU campuses, it's a valuable online education for your very real-world future. Go to online.nebraska.edu to learn more.
Wait, time out, Mom. Instead of using ketchup on your hot dog, pour on some of this Dorothy Lynch. Good, huh?
Yeah, talk about serving up an ace.
Did you see that? She spiked it!
Yes! Am I going to be watching you play for the Huskers someday?
How about you get me some more pizza, and then we talk about it?
Share the tradition of one-of-a-kind flavor that goes with anything. Game day or any day. Dorothy Lynch, endless flavorabilities.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with the new system. Call 391-2336 or visit soshvac.com today.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy it online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharp, Jessica Cootie with you here in hour 1 of Sports Nightly on a Tuesday night. 402-413-2400. The number to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Let's go to the phone lines. Stay in Lincoln and chat with John. Good evening, John.
Yes. I heard you mentioning the quality of education and Nebraska wanting to get into the Big Ten. Well, one of the things that Harvey Perlman was, he assured the Big Ten that Nebraska would continue to be a member of the AAU. And immediately after getting into the Big Ten, Nebraska was kicked out because they did not meet the standards of that organization. And Nebraska barely got voted in by the presidents at that particular time. So it concerns me and a lot of people when they're seeing all the stuff going on, you know, with Nebraska football team and, you know, talking about how important education was. The Big Ten was not very happy with Nebraska saying that they had this great academic standard when they knew, in fact, that they were going to get kicked out of the AAU.
Yeah, funny story, John. You know who one of the no votes on that committee was that voted to not give Nebraska their accreditation?
I have no idea, but I do know that
it was the president of Michigan State. How about that? That's something, huh?
Well, I know we've been a member since, I think, 1887 when it was founded, and I think there's 79 schools. It's really prestigious.
Right.
But most of the people that were in charge really did not want us in there, and it's really sad when our chancellor knew we were going to be kicked out and still went ahead and said we were very accredited.
Well, we lead
on that.
John, appreciate the call. We do lead the country in academic All-Americans by a wide margin, so I think that matters for something, I would think. JoJo Domann is a guy that's already graduated. You had a chance to catch up with him. You're going to play a full-blown interview on Saturday, but we're going to give everybody a little chance to hear part of it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a guy on a mission, and, there's no doubting his passion about, Nebraska and playing for this team. And so going to dive into that a little bit more. But starting with just, again, a little bit of a preview of what you're going to hear. We'll have a full feature coming out on him on the website, and then the full interview will be on Saturday. But kind of his background, and we've all heard about how his dad made him play a lot of positions. So I dove into that a little bit with JoJo.
Every position, but you really like to hit people. Why do you like to hit people? Why did you fall in love with that part of this game?
I played soccer growing up, and there's only so much contact in soccer, so I was always the kid getting yellow and red cards, always bodying dudes off the ball. And then I got thrown into football. I always wanted to play football, and I started with flag. So here I am in this contact sport, but I can't have contact yet. So it started in the basement with my brother, just seriously just going at it. And then in 6th grade, once the pads came on, it was on.
You just fell in love with it right there. There's unleashing a beast a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I watched football growing up. I didn't watch cartoons. I didn't watch movies. I watched NFL Network, and I watched NFL games.
When you were playing every position on the field, what was your favorite position to play on the offensive side of the ball?
Offense?
I'll go there, yeah.
Wide receiver. I like running back, but everyone knows you're getting the ball. Wide receiver, it's usually 1v1 or 1v2 with the safety over the top, and my brother and I, just with that connection and repetitions in the backyard, definitely wide receiver.
You're just eat up with that, competing and winning.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Your dad also talked about one of the things that he wants you to do is have fun. Are you remembering that in all of this? Because it seems like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, a lot on your shoulders going into this year. Mm-hmm. Are you having to remind yourself, hey, I've got to enjoy this as well?
Absolutely, and that's something I always have to bring myself back to when I start to get too intense on myself. Is like, man, this is a game. And I think just centering myself back to my deeper why of I'm blessed to still be in a Nebraska uniform, healthy and athletic to play this game. Anytime I get too intense on myself, just bring myself back to that.
And you've talked a lot about believing in this team. How do you, flip that switch where a team believes in themselves the way you believe in them?
Yeah, it's a critical mass. So if enough guys on our team have that belief in ourselves, thus in this team, the tide turns. I think in the past, it's been the opposite of that. To where I don't know what the threshold is, but just not enough guys were bought in, were willing to sacrifice what it takes to be successful. And from my understanding and from my experience right now, I think we're over that threshold.
Why do you believe in this team? Why do you believe they're over this threshold?
Because we have guys sacrificing and showing up and doing the hard things and doing the little things right. We're really honing in on the fundamentals and details and the attitude. The attitude that the guys bring into this building when we walk through the door is at an all-time high. Everything that we train, every meeting we go to, we don't necessarily want to be there. It's redundant, it can get old. But as long as we have a positive attitude through those things, we're going to get better and we're going to learn something from the experience.
And you've talked a lot about one game at a time, not looking too far ahead, not talking about wins and losses. So right out of the gate, week one, what kind of tone do you want to set?
Fast and physical, flying around. You might know I'm blitzing, but I'm still going to beat you. You might know what coverage we're in, but we're still going to cover it down. Just a fierce group that flies to the ball, forces turnovers, and that you can feel their presence before the ball's even snapped.
I think fans like to hear that, right?
He is such a good guy. He's fun to talk to, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And you know, you heard me asking about it because on his podcast with his dad was talking about, I want you to remember to have fun because, I mean, he knows now. My first question that I asked him is how does this feel different? And he said that, well, last year we didn't know if there was going to be a season. I didn't know if it was my last year. You know, there's just so much unknown and uncertainty. He knows without a doubt what's happening this year, this time around, that this is it for him. Right. And so he's, you know, got a whole different approach to it. I mean, his intensity level, you hear him talking about it. I mean, he's laser focused. And so, you know, he's got to remember to have fun at this thing while he's at it. But, you know, going through old video of, you know, putting together this feature and seeing how, you know, he's the guy in the locker room, you know, giving the speeches. You heard him giving the speech on the black shirts once they got their black shirts. And so this just means a lot to him. And he is going to do everything in his power to make sure that he's part of getting this tide to turn.
I was surprised he came back. Of the guys who came back, I kind of guessed on most of them. I thought he would probably give it a try for the NFL. I don't know that he would have gotten drafted, but I think he would have made a camp. He would have gotten a free agent deal. So a little surprised he came back. Glad he did, though. I'm glad he did.
So that's interesting because, you know, he talked about, you know, obviously going through the injuries, and you'll hear him talk about this in the interview, but that he had a lot of doubt in himself, a lot of doubt. He didn't have a lot of confidence, and even up until last year. And it wasn't until, you know, last season was over that he saw that he could compete at this level. So I think he wanted to come prove one more time and put some more great film out there that, you know, things finally clicked for him, you know, last year, and he has the confidence and all of that. And so I think one more year and doing it at a very high level will go from being an undrafted free agent making a camp to getting drafted, which is a big difference.
Sure is. Huge difference. Looking forward to watching 13 play again this year. All right, need to step aside, get a break in. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Time to tell you to buckle up and put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with our final few minutes of Hour 1 next.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense.
They're growing. Today, there are 1,000. And tomorrow, there'll be 2,000.
Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, there'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carryout, curbside pickup, or delivery at Valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive.
It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across the state of Nebraska and down into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. 402-413-2400. If you want to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text, a few minutes left in hour one. John Cook's volleyball show coming up at the top of the hour. Mark on the text line, what's the protocol for mask when eating at Devaney? Mark, you just got to shove that food right through that mask. Shove it right through that. No, you're going to be allowed to take your mask off to eat and drink and then put your mask back on. So there you go.
Got a kind of a fun chat going on about NIL deals that the players and coaching staff for Nebraska should do. And one of them was that Scott Frost should be Kellogg Frosted Flakes throwing a ball with Tony. And then we had one from Moonbot 7. And then Andy Harris, where was it? He said something, Chins needs to get a deal with shaving cream. But and then we have a suggestion here, a JoJo Mojo t-shirt.
That'd be good.
That we need to get going.
Yeah, that'd be a cool little deal.
He's definitely a fan favorite.
He is.
You know?
People like him. They like his game, how hard he plays. And he's become a very productive player for this team. And I think he'll have a very big year for this football team. You know, I think I saw the over-under for Saturdays like 55. I don't know that we're going to see that many points. I think you're going to see some teams kind of get drained with the heat, and I think both defenses are going to play pretty well in this game.
Well, that's what you heard. Was it Chinator that was talking about in preparing for Bielema? It's not so much as the defense or offense, it's how he's going to manage the game. Is he going to try to slow it down? Is it going to be clock management? Or is he, how is he going to approach kind of the overall managing of this football game? That's what's going to be kind of probably a surprise when this thing gets kicked off.
The one thing that's really interesting to me in the dynamics of a coaching staff, when Scott came here, he brought the whole staff from UCF here, so they'd all work together. Brett didn't do that at Illinois. These are guys he's pulled from all different corners. So I hope that's a big advantage for Nebraska on Saturday. They're not all in sync yet with each other.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying is maybe they haven't figured this thing out yet, because it's a lot different. I get that they got a lot of guys that have come back, a lot of old guys that have played a lot of football, the most super seniors in college football, but it's so different, learning a new system and clicking on all cylinders. And it's different doing it in fall camp and spring ball and doing it, on a game day against a completely different team. So I'm kind of hoping that they haven't got this thing figured out yet.
I think there's a good chance that's the case. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, you've got a staff and a program that's kind of in sync with each other as we get this thing, and you hope that there is some miscommunication going on for the Illini on Saturday. Noon kick, 8 o'clock pregame coverage here on the network. Volleyball show coming up next to John Cook. You got this, right? JB's out teaching a class or something tonight, right?
I'm stepping in for JB tonight, so I cannot wait. I'm excited.
He's out educating young minds, so he does that very well. And so he had a conflict tonight, so you'll do great with John. I would imagine he's pretty pumped up about this team after what he saw in the red-white scrimmage Saturday.
Lots to talk about, right? I mean, there's so many things that to dive into. And then you mentioned Justine Wong-Orontes is going to be honored.
How about that?
And
he's
got a really cool backstory with Justine that I think hopefully we'll be able to get into. And the captains, he gave me the okay to dive into that a little bit more. So we'll chat about that as well.
Good. That's coming up next hour. Of course, take calls, questions, comments for the head coach as well. That'll do it for me for tonight. Jessica's got the next hour with Coach Cook. Tomorrow night, we'll have Trev Alberts, his first athletic director radio show since being named back in July. That'll be hour one, and then we'll get into the meat of the day coming up in hour two.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, downtown, and the OG location in Millard. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense,
They're growing. Today, there are 1,000, and tomorrow there will be 2,000.
comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, there'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with this scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds 1 in 30 million.
Welcome back, everybody, into hour number 2. I am Jessica Cootie, and absolutely thrilled to be sitting in for John Baylor here on our very first Husker volleyball show of the fall. And walking in just now, perfect timing, the head coach, John Cook himself. Before we get to that, get your calls and texts in for the coach on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline, and brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family Shop. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. Coach, welcome. Thanks for letting me sit in for JB tonight.
Thanks. It's good to be here. First time I've been over here in the studio. You guys had a pretty fancy setup here.
Yeah, we're excited. Here we go. Opening weekend for you guys, coming off the red and white scrimmage. Let's talk about that first, because my first time in Devaney, everyone had been telling me how special that it is in there. But, man, I was just overwhelmed at the support that you guys have, how into it, the fans were. How special was it for you guys to get back in front of your fans?
A lot of the players told me that they would probably cry when they got introduced, and they did. So it was, Lexi's son said it best. She says, I never thought I would ever get to experience that again. And, because we went almost 2 years without that, and the fact that, so it was very emotional, and it was emotional for me because, we're in Devaney every day, and you see this beautiful arena, and it's just been empty for so long, and then to all of a sudden, like I said, it was alive, and it was awesome.
You had a plan in place that, hey, okay, this side you're going to cheer for white, this side you're going to cheer for red. We're going to switch them up so everybody has their own. And they bought into that. And boy, they were booing when Tyler was calling for a challenge. They were cheering when your team won the challenge. It was awesome.
Well, sometimes the red-white gets quiet because they don't like to root against the Huskers. So we were trying to get something because I wanted our players to feel nerves, which they did, and feel the noise and the energy. So it was pretty good. But wait till you see when we get in a tight match, it's going to be 10 times what you heard Saturday night. I mean, I've been in there where it's deafening.
Well, you had a battle, a lot of talent in your gym leading up to the season. What were you looking for, and did you see what you wanted to see on Saturday?
We were, I think the main thing we were looking for was to see how the freshmen would compete, and then how would our older players handle if the freshmen competed well. So that's a big test. We got to try to figure out a lineup. We got a lot of options, which is probably too many. It's just like going, when a player goes to the, a Von Maur and looking for a dress, there's just, you just need to go to one section and figure it out, not the whole store. So, but I want to see him compete hard, get used to playing in front of a crowd, and it was some pretty good volleyball. Sometimes the red-white can get ugly. And not very good quality, but it was very high level and it didn't matter. The other cool thing was it didn't matter what lineup, and we purposely wanted to rotate and just see how that would go, and they handled it really well.
So you mentioned your press conference. Nicklin Hames will be back. The Phoenix will rise again, I believe you said. Nothing broken, but she'll be out this weekend. So when you talk about kind of trying to figure out a lineup and getting that settled, what's the process with that, and how quickly do you want to get that settled, or will it be an ongoing process?
We have a couple options, and we're probably going to mess around this weekend when we're playing other teams. We're going to prepare a couple different systems, which again, one of the things that gives me the confidence to do that is the fact that we mixed up lineups and they played so well together. So we're going to kind of be all, and we've been through this before. 2017. Kelly Hunter was coming back from a shoulder surgery, and so we had to kind of work her back in. So we started her in the back row, and then eventually we could play her in the front row, and then eventually she could do the whole thing. So we ran a modified 6-2, and so we've got options, and we'll probably try a couple of them this weekend, see how it goes. And I'd like to play, a lot of players as well. So sometimes you're just so worried about winning, and right now with this team, I just feel like we got some time to mess around, and hopefully it'll work out good. But and I don't hit the panic button. So, but it might be good let them work through some things and see what these guys got. I mean, the red white is. Jordan Larson told me the most nervous she's ever been in her whole life, and she's been to 3 Olympics, was her first red white. And I know our players those freshmen were really nervous. So I want to see how they do now in a normal match against another team, and that's the next step.
It wasn't just the freshmen, though. I mean, your sophomores hadn't been. You had a couple of different classes that hadn't been in front of that crowd. I was standing in the tunnel next to Ani Evans' dad, Doug, and he said, yeah, this is her first time, being in front of this crowd. And he said, why do you think I'm standing over here in the tunnel? Dad's get nervous too. So, he was awesome to chat with. But you kind of forget about that too. It's not just the freshmen. It's these sophomores haven't had that experience of that atmosphere either.
I know. And, here's the other thing. We started school yesterday. You remember, we have over half our team has never been to a class on campus until yesterday. So they got to figure out where to go. And so we had, is that 9 of our 15 players, so we have 16 players, 9 of the 16 have never been to a class here. So it was kind of crazy to think about it. And again, but I know they had fun. Our crowd was great, as they always are. And they made it very special. And the other thing that, we brainstorm as a staff, like how can we make our crowd feel so appreciated? And so we gave away signed volleyballs. We had them go do the introductions up there, even though our trainer was freaking out because, but we put them in masks. And then the interviews that you did, with the players, we just try to make it as intimate as we can and connect with our fans. And that's what makes our program so special. And you weren't here when we designed the Devaney, because the Devaney was a 14,000 seat arena, and we shrunk it to 8 because we wanted to make everybody in there feel a part of it. Because volleyball is such a, if you're way far away and can't feel the speed and the power and the energy down there, then it's hard to watch. But everybody in there feels a part of it, and so that's what makes that such a great arena. And we want to make our fans know that we appreciated them.
I feel like, talking with a lot of your players, it's definitely appreciated, and it's why a lot of your players come here to play in front of that crowd. But, being away from it for a year kind of even brings a whole new perspective of how special it is to play in there. In one of those interviews with Kenzie Knuckles, she's like, I don't even know how we played a season without you guys last year. And every time that, the players would mention how much the crowd meant, boy, they would cheer. And it was just chills. It was just really, really cool. And you can tell how much your players do. They don't take it for granted.
Right. And I felt like last year was a lost season just because we didn't get to experience that. We had so many games canceled. It just was a lost season, and it just never felt like a normal season, or we really were playing that well, because it was just start, stop, and anyway, it at least felt somewhat normal Saturday night.
So we've already got some texts rolling in for you. We got one for you about the psychology department. Coach, a number of the girls addressed the impact Brett Haskell has had over the offseason, as well as the sports psychologist for the Women's USA team. Jordan Larson talked a lot about that. Can you elaborate on the role that sports psychologists have had in this program? And are they used individually or for team building? And that is from, I can't read the writing there, I think Thane Moore in Kearney.
So Dr. Brett Haskell is a sports performance coach, I call her. So I wouldn't say she's a sports psychologist. And USA Volleyball that Jordan talked about, Sue Enquist, who is a rock star. She's technically not a sports psychologist. She's an ex-softball coach from UCLA. But I've actually have had her 10 years ago. She came in and spent some days with our team and our staff. She mainly likes to surf right now. But I think what's important is they've got somebody that can help keep perspective, help them with whatever challenges they might have. And so for example, Brett works with our team. She works with because we're not allowed to coach them in the summer. So she's here in the summer. She meets with them. They do what we call 360 peer evaluation. So they learn about each other, what's good, what's bad, what they need from each other. And again, kids today, because they don't know how to communicate because everything's on phones. So they don't know how to talk really face-to-face or have conversations. So a lot of it is just learning how to communicate face-to-face and talk through things, as opposed to text or Instagram or whatever. And then the pressures of playing here, people don't realize Nebraska volleyball, there's a lot of pressure playing here. And Jordan also alluded to that one of the reasons that has allowed her to be so successful internationally and in the Olympics was her experiences here, because you're in front of 8,000 people, you feel like you let them down if you lose. And if you don't win a championship, I mean, there's a letdown there, because there's not only there's 8,000 in there, but we got a huge following in Nebraska and all over the world. So, we got to help our players how to deal with that. And then just, I think the other big thing is, how do they learn how to deal with the expectations and the workload here and how hard we go. And again, I'll just be honest, 10 years ago, kids could handle it better than they can now. And so they need tools on how to handle those types of things. And that's the pressure now with NIL, social media, just going to school, expectations, of your top recruit coming out. So there's just a lot going on. And so she helps with a lot of different areas. And then as a staff, we have somebody we can bounce things off of too. So it's great. USA had Sue Enquist did a great job, and we're very, very lucky to have her. And she's built a great sports psych department here. I think there's 5 full-time people now, and they see a lot of athletes. And again, the last year, there's been a lot of stress with COVID and all the things going on. I mean, just think about it. We're social creatures, and our players have been sitting on computers in their house, isolated last year, going to school. And then, we couldn't train for many weeks, and that's hard.
How have you talked about managing and, that Brett's been a big part of that, but how have you as a coach kind of evolved and managed kind of the changing athlete to what it is today?
Well, I wrote a book all about it because in 2009, I realized I had to start making some changes, because you got to remember, you don't know me that well, but I started off as a football coach and got told I had to coach girls sports in San Diego when I was teaching out there. And anyway, one of them was girls volleyball, and that's a whole nother story. But so I coached like a football coach. We got after it, and it was hard on them. But I noticed in 2009, 2010, things were starting to change, and that's when people started having cell phones, social media, and I blame it on a lot of it on that. And, I think the overbearing parents, or helicopter parents, they call them, and there's been books written about it. So I had to make some adjustments, and I made those adjustments. And by the time I kind of figured it out, about 2014, I mean, we've been on a hell of a run since then. And I've become a much more, still fiery, but there's a lot that I've had to learn, and that's what when I speak and I get a chance to talk to other coaches and business people or CEOs and things like that, and I tell myself the longer I coach, the less I know, and I've got to keep learning and adapting. Otherwise, you see a lot of, and you've been in this, you're around a lot of sports, you see a lot of older coaches that don't adapt, and eventually it gets them.
Yeah.
So I've realized that and have worked hard at it.
Let's talk about this now in the first segment, and we've had some texts, some comments on the chat about masks in Devaney during matches. We just got an email today that it's going to be in this county mandated starting tomorrow. Will the players have masks on the court? But then also you got to wear them when you come to a volleyball match starting on Friday, right?
That's what it sounds like. I heard that as I was walking over here today. So, yeah, not real fired up about that. But, I encouraged our fans to wear masks, and I noticed I'd say probably about half of them in the red-white had them on. But they can still cheer. I just got a new Adidas mask that our trainer gave me that the other masks we would wear, you couldn't. I'll just tell you a great story. We're in a big match, I don't know, at Minnesota or whoever we're playing last year, and I'm talking to one of our players, and I go through this, okay, we're going to do this, and she goes, I can't understand a word you're saying. So I had to take my mask off. So I mean, you just can't communicate eye to eye because if everything's blocked off with a mask, it's really hard to communicate.
Well, and then if it's loud in an arena.
So anyway, Adidas came out. We just got these new masks that you can really speak well through. So I've been actually wearing it in practice because I got exposed. So. Or I was in a close contact with somebody. And so anyway, it's a great mask. It doesn't slow my voice down or make me any more quiet. So if our fans can get good masks, come in there, they can still cheer loud, and we'll just make the best of it. And hopefully we can get this thing turned around and go back to normal. That's going to be my wish for all this right now.
No doubt. Absolutely. And it's important because the players, if, it's something happens with the team, it's a forfeit if you can't put the players out there, right?
Yeah, and we just, for example, one of our players' roommate, and she's in another sport, just tested positive, and unfortunately she wasn't around her very much, so we didn't have to quarantine her and or isolate her. But it's not just your team. Mm-hmm. It's the whole community that can impact us. And like, I have to wear a mask right now until I test negative one more time around our team because I was in fairly close contact with somebody that tested positive. Now that person was already vaccinated, so she's feeling pretty good. But my point is, you can protect your team, but you can't protect them 24 hours a day.
Right.
And so when we go into Devaney, we got 8,000 people in there. We got to protect as much as we can because, if we get a bunch of them out, then, we're going to forfeit.
All right, got to take our first break here on our first segment with Coach Cook and our very first Nebraska volleyball show of the fall. And again, this Sports Nightly is brought to you by the NDOT, the Nebraska Department of Transportation. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More with Coach Cook coming up after this.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carryout, curbside pickup, or delivery at valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
When it comes to tailgating, it's all about gathering with friends, cheering on the Huskers, and of course, enjoying the great taste of real beef. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council, reminding you that there is no substitute for the smoky aroma and mouth-watering flavors of real beef on the grill. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for helpful grilling tips and delicious beef recipes that are sure to make your next tailgate party a success. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense. They're growing. Today, there are 1,000. And tomorrow, there will be 2,000. Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, there'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline, and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense. They're growing. Today, there are 1,000. And tomorrow, there will be 2,000. Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, there'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
When you're ready to pursue a career-building college degree, go with the school you know and trust, the University of Nebraska. And if you need the flexibility, convenience, and affordability of an online degree program, you can go online with the University of Nebraska. With courses developed specifically for the online learner by our 4 regionally accredited NU campuses, it's a valuable online education for your very real-world future. Go to online.nebraska.edu to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carry-out, curbside pickup, or delivery at valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Shop with confidence at Woodhouse Ford. Take advantage of our current offers and vast inventory selection with features you want at a smart price. Schedule a test drive today or shop online with our streamlined sales process. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in person or online at WoodhouseFord.com. Choose your experience and find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. And we welcome back Coach Cook for our very first Nebraska volleyball show of the fall. And Coach, breaking news. I mean, it's kind of been out a little bit. I know you got a podcast coming out that you're talking about it, but captains have been announced. And you got 3 really good ones.
Well, this has been an interesting year because Lauren Stivrins, we weren't sure was going to come back and play. She wasn't sure, so we decided not to name captains in the summer, which we normally do. And we have so many new players, so we decided let's let it go. And then we got to the end of the summer, and like, okay, what do? We got some pretty special kids who've done a great job leading all summer. So we kind of went through an exercise, and then we went through 2-a-days. And then before the red-white, we kind of did a little survey thing, and they listed who they thought should be captains and why. And anyway, it's a really big deal for us, just like for football. It's a really big deal. And we make it a big deal. And they get these really cool captains things in their locker. But I also want to develop leaders, and I want them to leave here knowing, they were captain of Nebraska volleyball. It's a big deal, and the list is really impressive of the former captains. And so anyway, through all that, obviously they elected Lauren, who, she was uncomfortable with it, but understandably so. But
why?
Because she wasn't sure she's going to play. She doesn't know when she's going to play, and so she doesn't want to try to lead when she's not out there yet. And so I totally get it. And again, that's a selfless leader. But she everybody wants her to be captain. Nicklin Hames has been our captain the last 2 years, was selected. And then the third one is Kenzie Knuckles. And anyway, it's a great story because Kenzie has switched positions, and she's done it like a champ, which gains a lot of respect. And she's done a great job of integrating our younger players. And I think she spent a lot of time with them and getting over the summer and has really built those relationships. And her team has a lot of respect for her for that now, along with the coaching staffs and our performance team, who Brian Comita and Brett Haskell, who worked with them over the summer, and our trainer Jolene. So they're around them all summer. We're not around them that much unless they're working camps, but it's three just awesome people and great leaders, and I call them warriors. They're war fighters. They compete, they go hard, and they want to win.
So third time for Nicklin?
Third time for Nicklin.
So we got three.
Third time for Lauren too.
Wow,
but Lauren's been here 6 years now. So now her freshman year, I thought Lauren will never be a captain here because she was a disaster her freshman year. But I actually named Nicklin her sophomore year because your best team's your setter is one of your captains, and she started as a freshman here, so we just like, okay, we're going to do this, and she's maintained that respect, and she's a great leader.
So we heard Adrian was the first three-time team captain for the football team here. Has that happened often for you?
No, that's a great question. I'm going to have to go back and do some research on that.
Well, obviously it hadn't, or you would know off the top of your head a lot of,
typically it's a junior or seniors that are capped. So Nicklin is probably the first three-time.
Wow.
I'm going to find out. Lindsay, my director of ops, will know that.
We have to do something cool with Nicklin and Adrian there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Get Nick Burkhardt on that, and he'll do something cool.
Hey, speaking of that, the posters are awesome. Yeah. You pulled those out. 400 fans got them on Saturday, the first 400 fans through the door. And I actually asked Kenzie about it, and it's just highlighting the roots and the theme. Our roots run deep. And, she had kind of told the story, but for fans that maybe weren't at the red and white scrimmage, can you take us through kind of how the team came to that theme for this year?
You might know more than I do about it, but they work on, we have a theme board in there of things that we've done in the past. And for us, we try to develop a theme going into the into the fall to play. And it's something that just symbolizes our team and what we're about. And so they work on it on their own. I have nothing to do with it. And one day I come out on the whiteboard, there's all these trees drawn with all these parts about Nebraska volleyball, the tradition of Nebraska volleyball. And I'm looking at it like somebody up there's messing around on the whiteboard, just drawing, because they're bored or waiting for practice or whatever. So I didn't think anything of it. Next thing I know, I get this piece of paper where it's drawn out in a lot of detail. And they come in and talk to me. This is what we want. Our roots run deep. It's about our tradition. And anyway, they kind of sketched it out, and it was pretty cool. And it went through all the parts of our tradition of our program, from when we were in the Coliseum to the championships to what kind of some of our core values are about. And then, of course, they say, well, will Nick draw this up? I go, okay, that dude is so busy right now, and this is going to take a lot of artwork to do this, because it's so detailed, and like usually we put it on a T-shirt and bag tags, and I'm like, I don't know, we're going to have to find somebody to do this. It's going to take a long time. Next day, somebody asked him, and next day we've got the prototype. I'm like, Nick, how the heck did you do this? And it was really cool. And then we made a couple tweaks, and he came over and took some more pictures. But we got the Honda Broderick Cups in there, and just everything about the history of this program, the Olympians. And so it's all captured on there, along with Devaney, their names, and the roots run deep. So
that's awesome. And you didn't even have. What's really cool is that you didn't push that at all. That they embraced that.
They're so creative. I mean, they come up with some great ideas, and it's always, I've seen some really cool stuff as we go through this exercise over the years, and this is one of the coolest. And the poster's beautiful. To me, it's almost like a combination of a volleyball poster, but it's like Lord of the Rings type look, and then you've got I don't know, the colors in it and everything. It's
like art.
It is art, yeah, but it's very meaningful too. And so anyway, I'm gonna get it framed and put it in my office. I've only have one other one framed. It was in 2000, my first year here, that we did one based on our trip to China. We were the first team to ever go into China and for 3 weeks, and we made a poster based on the Great Wall. That's framed in the office, and this is going to be another one we're going to frame.
Speaking of roots and the Olympians, Justine Wong-Orantes is going to be here, going to be honored on Saturday. And you told a really cool story at an event the other day about Justine and her recruiting process. And I mean, just what a phenomenal story that she had, and to end up where she did, helping Team USA win their first gold in indoor volleyball.
Yeah. So you remember that story?
I do. I remember it.
Do you want me to tell it now? Is that
Yeah, I mean, if you would like to. I think people would like to hear it.
Yeah. Well, Justine, what happened was we didn't normally, our recruiting is 9th and 10th graders. That's how we do our recruiting. And then we had our libero left to go when they started beach volleyball. She transferred to Pepperdine and left us in the spring high and dry with no libero. And because typically you can only have one libero on scholarship. So like, what are we going to do? And so I went recruiting that summer to the Junior Olympics, and I saw this girl, Justine, setting for this team, but somebody told me she's a really good beach player. So I'm thinking, who's recruiting her? Well, some teams were asking her to walk on because she's small. So, walk on as a setter and maybe run a 6'2", but Hawaii was one of them, and there was a couple other smaller schools. So as soon as Junior Olympics are over under NCAA rules, I can't talk to them until it's over. So I get her phone number and call her up and, hey, I'd like to visit with you. And she lives in California. And so she said, yeah, come on out. So I go out to California and do a home visit with her, which we don't really do a lot of home visits. And her mom was there. Her brothers were there. There was another coach there and her dad. And so we started talking, and I said, hey, I'd like to try to make you a libero. And we have a big need, and she's like, wow, Nebraska. She really didn't even know where Nebraska was. This is in downtown LA pretty much. So I said, why don't you come and visit and see how you like it? So in the summer, she came and visited, and we offered her, and we were the only school to offer her. And she started every match of her entire career here. She was the first All-American libero at Nebraska volleyball. And we've had one of our previous liberos, Caleb Banworth, was a starting libero in 2016 Olympics, considered the best passer in the world. And she didn't even make All-American. So that just shows you the path. But what makes her story even better, when she left here, typically their path is to go overseas and then train with the national team. Well, she went overseas, lasted like 2 weeks. Came home, was homesick, couldn't handle it. She's a mama's girl. And so then she went to try to train with USA and didn't like that. She was talking about quitting volleyball, and I'm like, well, Justine, if your heart's really not in it, then it's time to go on. She got her teaching credential. I said, it's time to go into teaching and coaching. So she kind of took some time off, and she came back here for a while, then she went back to LA, and somebody talked her into like, hey, why don't you come and try some more? And I think the USA team may have asked her, like, will you just come back and help us train? We got people coming in, and all of a sudden I think she recaptured her love for the game. And so I never thought she would ever make the national team or even play. Well, another year later, gets on the roster and starts traveling, and then she got to go play overseas for a year, which really helps them in the international games a little bit different. Anyway, and she made the team. And then she goes and play. I would have probably given her, and I bet you if we asked the coaches, she might have been the MVP. Jordan was named the MVP because they normally don't name liberos MVP. Justine might have been the MVP of that team.
I think they said that she was the most valuable libero, or if that's voted on, that she was the best libero of the Olympics.
Yeah, but she did things for that team that you don't measure or you don't see unless you really know what's going on and really know volleyball. And Justine has a great way. I mean, Jordan loves playing with Justine. and she made Jordan a better player. And that was one of the reasons that allowed Jordan to have her best Olympics out of 3 tries.
How special was that to watch you, or for you to watch that happen?
At first we were so busy. And the times were weird, so I watched a couple of the matches, but I didn't see all of them. But then when they started getting for the money rounds, the medal rounds, and where everything was on the line, I started watching. I didn't care what time, it was in the middle of the night. And when they got the gold medal, I mean, the feeling, I knew they were going to win. I just had this feeling like they're going to do this. And even though Brazil's been a thorn in their side for many big tournaments, but you could just tell the way they didn't start off playing very well in the Olympics, but the last couple matches, the quarterfinals and the semis, you could just see them getting on fire. And I've seen that with teams for us that have won national championships. It's just like they get going, everything's going their way, they just feel it, and they go and they just do amazing plays, and that's what they did, and they crushed Brazil in the final.
And you cried on that final play.
I was bawling like a baby sitting on my computer because I saw Jordan's reaction.
Oh, I know.
And the other thing was when the announcer's saying, "God, I hope we set Jordan here," and I'm thinking, you better set Jordan because she deserves to get that swing. And she won a 2006 national championship against Stanford. It was way tighter. We were in a deuce game to win it, and we called a timeout at 24-23. And we called a play for Jordan, and she crushed it, and we won the national championship. So I've seen her do it. So now for her to be able to say she did that in Nebraska, and for a gold medal, doesn't get any better than that.
Unbelievable. I cried as well. So I think a lot of people did around here. Got to step aside for another quick break. We were talking about that poster. It is brought to you by Valentino's. Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back at 2 jumbo 1-topping pizzas for $17.99 each, and free Husker schedule poster, and add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers, the way pizza should be. We're back with Coach Cook and more Husker volleyball talk right after this. If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Toast Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln, or ToastSubaru.com.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at BeardmoreSubaru.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Stadium seats may have been replaced with recliners. Tailgates outside the stadium may have been swapped for the ones in the backyard, and thousands of screaming fans have been replaced by one screaming baby. The only thing that hasn't changed is us, watching the game together.
It's game time, baby.
Show off your Husker team spirit during your next virtual watch party. Visit Cox.com/Huskers to take a selfie with Herbie. And don't forget to share. Watch together, cheer together, take a selfie together, even if you're not actually together. Cox, bringing us closer.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections. When it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus. Insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
Great job, everyone. Printers, great coverage. Phones, quick pickups. Firewall, tough defense. And network, way to carry the whole team. Ever since Marco started calling our technology plays, we work smarter and our whole game is more streamlined. Marco's all-star services and support give us the winning edge. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
Welcome back to our Husker Volleyball Show with John Cook. I'm Jessica Cootie, and it's brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Transportation. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We were just talking during the break. We were laughing. I was telling you about, I did some interviews with some of your freshmen trying to fill in the blank with some Garth lyrics, and none of them were very Garth knowledgeable. But did you go to the concert, or you got to see a little bit of sound check?
Well, first of all, I asked our players about Garth too, like they even know who he is, and they're like, and I remember before I even started coaching at Nebraska as an assistant, this was in the early '90s. Garth did a concert at Miramar Air Base in San Diego, where I was living and teaching high school and coaching girls volleyball and wanting to be a football coach. So that's where I first saw him and followed him for a long time. And then anyway, the sound check, I was trying to get in. The security, I had training table, and I was trying to get in, and the security wouldn't let me in. So Kelly Hunter was with me, and she's our volunteer coach. And I'm like, hey, we'll go up to 6th floor and let's just check it out, because you see the band's playing if he's out there playing. So we go up there, and there's 2 police officers up there that I know that work on campus, because I see them at Devaney. So we're looking down there, and the band's playing, and I go, what are you guys doing up here? And they go, well, we have a VIP. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I wonder, I goes to the chancellor, or the president, who's up here? And he goes, well, it's the man. And I'm like, wait, who's the man? They go, Garth. And I'm like, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, he's in the media room on 6th floor having dinner.
Wow.
But his band's down playing. And I go, well, wait a second, why is he down there playing? He goes, well, he's going to go down there eventually. So next thing, so Kelly and I are watching the band, and we're trying to figure out how to sneak in. So because we knew where the security was, so we're trying to look at how other people are getting in. And next thing I know, here's Garth. He goes, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Garth Brooks." And we start talking, and I introduced him to Kelly, and he goes, "Hey, did you watch the Olympics?" And I go, "Volleyball?" And I go, "Well, yeah, we had 3 players on that team." He goes, "You're kidding me." So we just start talking and talking volleyball and sports. And, he was a track athlete through the javelin. And I told him about, when I saw him in San Diego. And anyway, we just had this great conversation. I watched his documentary, so I was asking about his family and where he lives now. And anyway, what an awesome guy. And
how cool is
so
that?
it was really cool. And awesome. Yeah, it just like lucked out. So it was like.
So you were a Garth fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Garth's awesome. I mean, the guy's he's a rock star. And Kelly the whole time is like watching all this, like, are you kidding me? I think she was about ready to pee in her pants that we're talking to Garth Brooks up on the 6th floor of the stadium.
That atmosphere was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
He puts on a heck of a show. So
yeah. What was really cool, the sound check, and this is the kind of guy he is, and I just think this is where his passion is so strong. So he does the sound check, the band leaves, and I start walking out thinking it's over. And half the crowd's leaving. And one of the guys that does the stage stops me. He goes, "Hey, Coach, how's the season? How's the team doing?" And I go, "Good." And I go, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "Well, I'm on the stage crew and all that." But he knows volleyball, so he just keeps asking me questions. And next thing I know, I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to get out of here." And next thing I know, Garth's up on the stage, and he pulls out a guitar, and he just starts playing.
Wow.
And I'm like, "What's going on?" Is he still checking something out? And then he just starts playing songs. Huh. And then the few people that are left, he's like, "Hey, what song you want me to play?" And he was just like in his element, just him, his guitar, hanging with a small group. And it was like for 45 minutes, it was unbelievable how talented he is and how he connects with the crowd. And so I didn't go Saturday night because there was a lot of people there and we're trying to be safe. And I found out a bunch of my players went, but everybody just said it was unreal.
It really was. Okay, we do have a call for you here. Mike from Omaha.
Oh, this is Split Step Mike.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Split step forever, baby.
Yeah, I can't hear him. Oh.
All right. You can't hear me?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, hang on. We got a new setup here. All right, Mike, you there?
It looks better than it is, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's good. We just had to turn on the volume.
I just forgot to turn up the volume.
Yeah. Well, we knew Split Step Mike was coming in. Trust me, we're working on it every day. So what other questions you got?
I know you are, and it's not a question. Split step forever. Hey, I remember something you said about Justine. It was during a red-white, or before a red-white scrimmage when she was here, and you said, whatever team she's on wins. Boy, we saw that.
Yeah.
You did say that. And we saw that in the Olympics.
Wow, I didn't remember that, but it's true. She's amazing.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such a great story.
Yeah.
And even Kelsey Robinson, she could have obviously played more, but just the way she was encouraging the others, man, we were so proud. But I got to tell you though, Saturday night, most people were not wearing masks, even though I don't think they got the memo that you wanted to. And with that Delta variant, it was kind of a super spreader event, and maybe that had something to do with them changing the rules. So it's kind of unfortunate. But I got to tell you, I've never seen more depth on the team than we have this year, and it's going to be fun to watch. But do we have any Michaela Fecchi type hitters?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. There's only one Michaela Fecchi, but we have some players that are capable of having really big nights. So we'll have to see. Michaela wasn't so hot her freshman year, but until we got to the Final Four, then she basically won it. So anyway, but yeah, we love this freshman group and love our whole team has done an amazing job, and they know they're very talented and they're pushing each other, which is great. I mean, I'm seeing things in practice I haven't seen in years of how hard they're going in the plays that they're making. So it's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for the call, Mike. And we actually have to take a quick break because we got one more to get in here. But thank you for calling in, Mike. And I will promise I will not talk as much next time. And you'll have to call in next week when Coach Cook comes in. And that is on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carry-out, curbside pickup, or delivery at valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. With a combination of strong academics and affordability, UNL offers an excellent educational value. This year, the university was named one of the Princeton Review's best value colleges. And the new Nebraska Promise and Career Scholarship programs are connecting more hardworking Huskers with financial help so they can pursue their dreams.
Final segment here with Coach Cook on our first edition of Husker Volleyball. And got a couple quick minutes left here inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, brought to you by Acres. And big weekend, opening weekend for you, Coach. The Husker Invitational, got teams coming in, a lot of volleyball being played, and you had some shift in the schedule, but it's pretty cool because you're going to get to be on TV, a lot of volleyball on TV this weekend. Yeah, it's kind of an epic weekend for that because the Big Ten is stepping up, so I'm going to give them credit. But Friday, what worries me is we're playing at 11 o'clock Friday morning, which our fans are used to that. We actually played, I think, a 9 o'clock regional final or game a few years back. So anyway, that's a great day to take off work, call in sick, come to the match. We need the sellout streak, and we need that thing full, even with your masks on. And then we're going to play a little bit earlier, I think, on Friday because we're playing the third match, K-State, on Saturday at 4. And what's happening Saturday is football goes, we follow football, and then there's 2 other Big Ten matches after us. I think Minnesota, and I'm not sure who the third one is, but it's a triple header volleyball after the Nebraska football game on Big Ten Network. So a lot of love for the Huskers, and that's a big day of sports. You got about 20 seconds here. What are you looking for? What do you want to see this opening weekend? That's a great question. I don't know. Ask me Thursday after practice. But we got to figure out some lineups and see some. We want to play a lot of people and just kind of just see what we got and how it goes. And I'm excited to see us play. I mean, they're going to be fun to watch. It should be fun, indeed. And again, weekend full of volleyball. K-State Colgate, 9 a.m., Nebraska Tulsa, 11, K-State Tulsa, 4, and then Nebraska Colgate, 6:30 on Friday, and then Tulsa Colgate, noon on Saturday, and Nebraska Kansas State wrapping it up at 4 o'clock. Thanks so much to John Cook, and we'll see you tomorrow. 413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse Chevy Buick in Missouri Valley, Iowa, and experience the Woodhouse difference, where our sales staff is here, ready to help you find your perfect new car, truck, or SUV. And with over 100 new vehicles on our lot with more arriving daily, we're sure to have something for you. From the Buick Encore to our heavy-duty trucks, we have the best selection available. Find new roads and shop all of our inventory and offers at WoodhouseChevy.com or visit us at our dealership for a test drive today, making car buying easier. This is Woodhouse.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with the new system. Call 391-2336 or visit soshvac.com today.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
When it comes to tailgating, it's all about gathering with friends, cheering on the Huskers, and of course, enjoying the great taste of real beef. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council, reminding you that there is no substitute for the smoky aroma and mouth-watering flavors of real beef on the grill. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for helpful grilling tips and delicious beef recipes that are sure to make your next tailgate party a success. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.